Hey guys, it's Elisabeth here, with my very first voiceover video. First of all, sorry for any audio problems. My computer is slightly dying, so you can probably hear it whirring away in the background. But I just wanted to make a narration video, because I absolutely love watching those. So today, it's a speed draw of an art trade I'm doing with Shrivit. Her YouTube channel, I'll link it in the description. But I love her. She makes so much work. Her Fanimated and Unshaken it's just really good. It's just really good. She's so prolific as well. She's a really big inspiration at the moment, so it was very exciting to do an art trade of her. So yeah, this drawing is of one of her characters, Arlen. And what I did first was I decided to make a whole bunch of different thumbnails because I wasn't really sure what pose I wanted to draw. Because he's a kind of peppy, excitable character, and I'm like, what? I can only draw emos. So I made a whole bunch of sketches, as you can see. Yeah, like a lot of the time speed draw videos, people start them with the sketch already, but for me it takes me ages to figure out what I want to draw, so I thought I'd leave this in for you guys because it might be useful or interesting to you. Yeah, so I'm using Clip Studio Paint, which is a program that I really love. I got it for free with my Wacom Intuos tablet I used to have, and it's done me good, especially the animation update. It's really nice. Yeah, so once I had my thumbnails, I picked my favourite one, which was this one, and then I copied it onto a new layer, blew it up and started fixing all the anatomy mistakes I made when I was sketching it out. And his face isn't quite right still, but you know, you live and learn. Yeah, so I'm just going ahead and fixing all of the anatomy mistakes here. So yeah, about me. I'm studying illustration and animation at the moment. I'm in my final year of university, which is I'm so done with university, to be honest. Which sounds really bad when I say it like that, but it's true. I'm looking forward to doing whatever I want and actually making money by drawing instead of paying money to draw. And by this stage in uni, it's difficult because they don't tell you what to do anymore. They just tell you what not to do. So it's like, oh, just make something really good, but not that. Not that. Why did you make that? No. One of the struggles I've really had as someone who's had like a more anime manga inspired style is how anime and manga is, how far can you go? When is it acceptable? Because like no matter how hard I tried, I like can't beat it out of my drawing. Like anime and manga were why I started drawing when I was like a little 12-year-old, drawing my how to draw manga books, and like that way of constructing your image, even when I change the eyes, even when I I had a period when I tried to make my work more cartoony, but like just the way I tell stories is just, it's ruined. No, I'm joking. It's really influenced by that, which is totally valid. And half of my tutors have been like, no, that's fine. And the other half have been like, that's derivative. Oh, how dare you? Oh, there's my computer telling me it's having problems. So on the screen right now, I'm making this drawing flat coloured, lineless drawing. So what I usually do when I'm doing that is I do my sketch and then I paint everything on separate layers. So I've made a separate layer for his skin, then one on top of that for his hair, one on top of his hair and some clothing, I think. As long as things don't touch each other, it's okay to put on the same the same layer if you're using this sort of technique. Then I had a layer on top for the hoodie and just the bits on top, and then one more layer drawing his face and stuff. So yeah, I'm just using the vector layer tool on Clip Studio Paint to get my lines nice and, well, they're not very neat, but quite neat. And then I rasterize them and flood fill them in. But yeah, back to anime. It's a really difficult question because anime is so popular at the moment. There were some people in my class, especially in the first year, who they did just draw anime. They didn't think about what they really liked about what they were drawing, or like what particular style they wanted. They just went and copied the style in a really like basic way without trying to think about it and make it their own and doing it like intentionally. And like that's a problem. Don't do that. I mean, like, do that at first, because everyone just spends the first one like, I'm gonna draw Ed from Full Metal Alchemist, I'm gonna copy Naruto panels. Like, it's fine, have fun with your drawing, but once you start thinking about your style, try and like make it your own, and like pick and choose bits that you absolutely like, bits that you love, and make sure that you're not doing stylistic things just as a style. Make sure they are serving some purpose in your work. Like, if your anime character's nose is so tiny that you can't draw them touching the nose, are you okay with that? If their hair is so ridiculous you can't draw them running their hands through their hair, are you okay with that? Sometimes like it doesn't matter, and like that style is like, it adds to your project you're working on, but just try and be intentional with it, I guess. But the problem with uni is they often, once you say the word manga, they say, oh my god. Like, I actually had a really horrible experience in one interview I had for my for trying out for an animation course. I was like, oh, should I put my manga in my portfolio? And then the teacher was like, no, you shouldn't. You should just put it with the rest of your 2B pencil drawings of One Direction. Why are you even here? And that really hurt me, because you're always being told you're not good enough when you draw a manga inspired thing, and it's not fair just because it's the most popular. Like, all the people who just draw half naked girls surrounded by flowers every time, they don't get told their work is derivative, even though it's derivative as hell. So basically, what we should take away from this is draw what you love. Don't be a slave to any particular style, and draw like purposefully. Yeah, so speaking of being purposeful, I have purposefully filled in all those flats and now added a clipping layer on top of each of those layers, and I'm using the chalk brush to add some lines. I was going to only add lines and not do any cell shading, but you'll see later on I end up adding some cell shading anyway because things weren't standing out enough. But yeah, I think the chalk brush wasn't quite the right one for this occasion, but I've been having problems with lines lately. Even in lineless work I've been having problems with lines. So I'm just gonna pick something and go with it and draw with it, because even if it's not perfect, at least it's done, you know? And that's totally valid. Says Liz about her own work. So yeah, I'm just like, one other tool that's really useful in programs apart from the clipping layer tool is the lock transparency tool. Locking the transparency of a layer is really helpful, because then you can just draw the patterns on it and it acts like you've selected the layer but you actually haven't. You should definitely play around with it if you haven't. Sometimes it's called like lock the alpha of the layer. So yeah, clipping layers and locking that alpha or locking transparent pixels are some of my favourite drawing hacks lately. So yeah, I'm just adding a few more patterns to this, because the design, Shrivet she always goes hard with her character designs. I'm like, why did you design a pattern there? She always draws the freckles. It's like, that's just adding extra work, but it looks amazing, but you had to go in and add gradients to every layer. Oh. That's something that I'm struggling with. My latest project actually is an animated music video, and the main character's a girl, and like a lot of the time she's wearing shorts, and I'm like, should I add leg hair? It feels like this is a good opportunity to, you know, just represent the fact that women have hair that grows out of their bodies. But then I think, oh, but then I'll have to draw 8 frames per second of leg hair for thousands of frames in this animation. There's a feminist question for you. Pencil miles versus morals. So yeah, I'm onto the cell shading now. I'm just adding that in on another clipping layer above each of the like flat pieces layers, I guess you could call them. So that's just excuse me, it's just a multiplayer layer with a very light purple, because shading with purple is the bomb. I remember that's one thing I really liked about Hetalia back in the day, was it's like, oh, they shade with purple and everything looks so pretty, even though it's just a webtoon thing. Oh, I miss Hetalia. What's your favourite anime at the moment? Leave me a recommendation in the comments below, because I have been wanting to watch anime more this season, but nothing's been really catching my attention. Like Devilman Crybaby, I started watching it, 5 minutes of it, I gave up. It seemed too emo. Is it too emo? Leave me a recommendation in the comments. Yeah, or if there's an anime that's like quite old but there's not like a classic yet, leave me a recommendation of that too. So yeah, I'm just adding in a basic background now. I selected the area outside of the character and added in a a little white border around him to help him stand out. Then I'm just adding some like areas of flat colour and speed lines, just a pretty random average background, I guess. To me it looks like the introduction of someone in an anime or in an anime ending, which I'm happy with. So yeah, we're coming to the end of the video now. I hope you enjoyed this voiceover. I know I really enjoy listening to people's voiceover. I hope you enjoyed listening to your friend with the terrible microphone and the British accent. Yeah. Give me a comment down below, please. Roast me about my anatomy mistakes. Give me anime recommendations. Tell me what kind of dog is your favourite kind of dog, or are you a cat person? You weirdo. No, cats are valid. They're just kind of small, spiky dogs. So yeah, that's the picture finished. Thanks for listening. Bye!